Hey guys, before we get started today, I do just want to put out a quick spoiler warning. We are going to be going over some basic spoilers for Persona 5 Royal, both the base game and the DLC. So if you haven't played through those, I'd suggest you come back later. So I am basically a novice in the power scaling community, though I have a lot of interest in that kind of thing. Recently I've gotten a lot into JoJo power scaling as well as some other things, but one that I just started looking into recently is the absolutely insane power scaling that Joker from Persona 5 has. If you don't know, power scaling at its most basic is looking at feats of both the character you're intending to power scale as well as others, and comparing them in order to see the relative abilities at their maximum that each character has. At their most basic, there are a few categories of power scaling that you mostly look at, being attack potency, durability, and speed. Oftentimes, attack potency and durability go hand in hand, because the amount of damage that you're able to output should usually scale to the amount of damage you're able to take. The maximum durability that a character has should scale to their maximum attack potency, except in cases when the durability is higher, as that does happen. But you will rarely see a character whose durability is lower than their attack potency. Again, I've used this example before, but like Deku from the early days of My Hero Academia. He was able to put out a lot more damage than he was actually able to withstand, though. I mean, he was still able to survive that, so that's still saying something for his base durability before receiving a quirk. In any case, when you think about Joker from Persona 5, I doubt you immediately think of him as an incredibly busted character. Of course, he does have the wild card. He is a trickster, and so he can swap out between any persona, essentially. He's able to use them in his arsenal, and through use of the services provided for him in the Velvet Room, he's able to kind of game their abilities a little bit and share skills between them. Through doing stuff like that, though, he is able to gain a resistance to basically every single damage type in the game. Being fire, ice, electricity, gun damage, and physical damage, and several others. One of the more notable ones being nuke. He's able to have a full immunity to nuke powers. to nuke magic? It is a nuclear reaction in the actual lore of the series. He's actually able to tank a nuke, or a nuclear reaction, with the correct kind of persona, of course. In terms of attack potency, obviously he's going to scale to every persona that he's able to wield, since he can directly use their attack potency and their attack abilities. As we see throughout the game, he's able to defeat several beings that are essentially gods. Yaldabaoth in Persona 5 Basic, Azathoth or Adam Kadmon in Persona 5 Royal, and then the false god Demiurge in Strikers. These are beings that have insane amounts of power, and as such, durability as well. Many of them are able to rewrite reality to some extent, which, as it so happens, is another hack that Joker has. As we see in the ending of Persona 5, as well as the entirety of the Persona 5 Royal Extra Semester, Joker has full resistance to both time stops and to reality warping powers. He's completely unaffected by the reality warping powers used by Azathoth. And of course, the other Phantom Thieves do eventually come around to have this ability as well. But Joker, from the outset, is completely immune to it. Many other characters with hacks regarding reality warping, which is very possibly the strongest hack that you could really have, Joker just immediately negates it. Of course, that's somewhat of a tangent. It's not exactly an argument for attack potency and durability. That's just a hack. In any case, through his attacks, Joker and his persona Arsene are able to completely obliterate several gods, several beings who can rewrite reality. If that's not an argument for incredibly high attack power, I don't know what is. In terms of speed, there's not a lot of feats that I've seen going around. A lot of people say that it doesn't really matter, since honestly in the series there's not all that many speed feats to even scale from. he is able to keep up with personas, like other personas who are, godlike in some cases, but he's not often dodging those. He's tanking punches from beings that can rewrite reality rather than dodging. So there's not a lot of speed feats that you can really scale off of. It seems that he's somewhat underwhelming in that regard. So a speed blitz isn't exactly on the table necessarily. There are some people I've seen who have put him at an immeasurable level of speed, just because he's able to keep up with Azathoth and Adam Kadmon and all of the other gods, but I think that's somewhat irrelevant based on the ridiculous hacks he has. I forgot to mention, many people put him at a low outer versal attack potency because of him defeating gods and beings who can absolutely rewrite reality and the universe itself. But this is just a guy. This is a 17-year-old kid. In terms of intelligence as well, that's another fact. That's another thing that I hadn't brought up yet. In terms of intelligence, he goes toe-to-toe with other characters in the verse who are placed at an incredible level. Of course, there's not like a ton of things that we see exactly of him doing that, but him just being the leader of the Phantom Thieves, immediately becoming so adept at stealth and at strategy, at battle tactics, all while he is still maintaining good grades in school and maintaining the illusion of a regular life. That is quite the feat in and of itself. And all of this is not even to mention all of the ridiculous, crazy abilities that you start to look at based on the lore of the series. According to, I believe, one of the older Persona games, Personas themselves are the power of demons that humanity is just borrowing, essentially, in order to be able to protect themselves in the metaverse and these other spaces. And according to another one of these games, damage dealt by demons can only be healed by someone with the use of spiritual abilities. Any normal means of healing without that kind of spiritual ability would be entirely useless against a wound dealt by a demon. And because the Persona's power is what Joker is being able to use, that would stay true for the injuries that he's dealing to his opponents. Additionally, it's been shown in, I believe, one of the comic series, some of the comics or manga for one of the Persona games, that some of the healing skills the Joker would have access to through his personas have the ability to regenerate full limbs. I mean, even if you manage to land a hit on the guy and actually deal some damage, he's going to be able to heal himself back up immediately. Like, this guy is absolutely insane. I don't know what you're supposed to be able to do against him. He is absolutely busted. And really, that's all I had to say today. This is a video without much of a point. I just think it's very interesting to think about the overall power scaling of a lot of these series. I mean, it's kind of a meme that a lot of JRPGs you end up fighting God, but I never really think about what that means for their protagonists in terms of how absolutely insanely powerful they can get to be. But in any case, thanks for sticking around and listening to me ramble for a little while. I will see you guys all in 2 weeks with my next video. So until then, stay classy. Bye.